The skipper, Michael Hooper, joining us. Michael, thanks very much for your time. The Indigenous jersey this weekend, hugely important, obviously, to Kirtley. What does it mean to the rest of you guys?
Oh, it means a hell of a lot, you know, not only Kirtley but the rest of the team. And I think, first of all, every chance we get to wear a Wallaby jersey is a special one. But, you know, this one for Kirtley and the rest of the team holds a nice little importance. The first time to be in Indigenous colours, I should say. And we've learnt a bit. We've had a bit of learning throughout the week of what that looks like and what that means for so many people across Australia. So we're even more proud to wear it.
Hoop Bus, it's Drew Tank here, mate. Mate, it's been a huge 6 months for you guys. You've gone from 5th to 3rd in the international standings. What do you put it down to, and is it perhaps because of the Hoop Bus's captaincy?
It's far from the Hoop Bus, mate. It's probably the Drew Tank, what he put in for those couple of years there. No, mate, look, we're still number 3rd, and it's not number 1 where this team's striving to be, so we're still way off. It's you know, some nice reward for what this team's been doing. You know, as you know, Drew, we train hard here, and we train hard every day under Czech and his boys. But we're learning to get a good balance of what that looks like on and off the field, and I think that's come out in those results like you've talked about.
Hoops, Halsey here, mate. It looks like it'll be Steve Moore's last test on home soil. He's been good for you. How do you describe playing under Steve Moore and now captaining him? How's your relationship been with that changeover?
Steve's been a huge mentor for not only myself, but the rest of the boys in the team. You know, what I like about Steve and what I think is a real great trait of Steve is his ability to speak his mind and stand by that. I think that's you know, a really good quality, and a quality that Steve's possessed throughout his career. So, you know, for me and the transition we've had in the last sort of 12 months, he's been a huge mentor and a great person to lean on, particularly this year as well. And for the rest of the team, you know, he does a great job, and he's taken up a real sort of, you know, father role for a lot of players here. And it's important that, you know, he gets time on the park this week and does we help him out there.
Hoops, going back to that last game against the All Blacks, apart from the thrill of going down to New Zealand's deep south, down to Dunedin, wonderful place to visit, of course. Heartbreaking loss, though. How did you digest that game? What have you taken out of it, and what are you using for this week?
Yeah, certainly Dunedin didn't disappoint, you know, and I think, you know, for us on the field that game, we had some really nice pieces of play, some built pressure, you know, on the New Zealand team there. I think looking at this week and looking at this game and those games that do come down to the wire, it's those little margins, that little point that players need to stay switched on to allow us to build pressure and keep points on an opposition like New Zealand. You know, there's no secret they are where they are because they're able to stay in the game for longer than other teams. So we almost did that down in Dunedin. You know, it's about staying more on and for the rest of the game in those little moments.
A change in the back row last week. Jack Dempsey played a full 80 minutes, played really well. Young guys like Ulysses, they're coming on well, and you've also got another guy, Rodder, who unfortunately is out for the season. Is that correct?
Yes, he is. I don't know who was meant to say that, but he is, unfortunately. You know, I've been super impressed with how he's come in as a big body, and again, someone like Jack, who's now had 2 starts in the jersey away from home. I'm looking forward to seeing him, you know, in a stadium like Brisbane, playing against a team like New Zealand. You know, it's time for these guys to step up and start, you know, trying to grab the jersey and maintain jerseys.
Hoops, a lot has been said about the attacking weapons in the back line. Flowers, Beals, Korobetes, Flowers. How do you guys unlock that? How do you unleash these guys against the All Blacks? I said flower twice. You only have one flower. But...
Look,
bunch of flowers.
Yeah, I know. He probably deserves to. Look, I mean, getting the ball to them is crucial, but also the right parts of the field. I think we've been guilty of some years just giving them the ball and expecting things to happen against the teams that we play against and where we want to go as a team. We've got to allow these guys to be in the right parts of the field at the right time. But, you know, in saying that again, you want the guys who can, the wingers, to finish, and you know, they've been doing that the last couple of weeks. Reece Hodge with 2 tries there in the last game. Izzy's been fantastic, same with Kirtley and Marika and the rest of the boys. So, you know, we've got to set a platform up front, as always. You know, it sounds boring, the same old rugby chat, but really important for us against a team that does the little things well.
Hey, Hoops, I put to Bernard Foley just before the test in Mendoza that, you know, been a pretty good few weeks unbeaten since that test in Dunedin, and he kind of said, well, not really, 2 draws that we should have won. How are you feeling about where the team is at the moment? Are you feeling that there's been huge steps made, or is it lost opportunities?
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt there are missed opportunities. I think we've taken steps forward. What we've been doing not off the field, but in training away from, you know, the public's been really, really strong. We've been moving along really nicely there. But you want instant rewards. Of course you want instant rewards. Of course it would have been nice to win a rugby championship, you know, be going into a Bledisloe decider this weekend, but that's not the way it's panned out. So we've got to go and look at what we can improve, you know, and that's the little things that are going to take us to where we want to go as a group, and that's the thing I have been pleased with, and the rest of the leaders and the coaches are happy with, is just these little consistencies that are starting to look better day in, day out.
Can't wait for Saturday night, mate. Obviously, great excitement out of the back of what happened in Dunedin and also over the last few weeks. Go well. Looking forward to it.
Appreciate it, guys. Thanks a lot.